لا إله إلا الله 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 لا إله إلا الله جود علينا الله لا إله إلا الله جود علينا.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. After praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and sending salutations, peace and blessings upon the best of creation, the jewel and crown of creation, the beloved of Allah Almighty, the coolness to our eyes, the purpose of our lives, the reviver of our hearts, the inspirer to our minds, the awakener of our souls, the most honored one, the most praised one, the most generous one, the most kind one. Undoubtedly, He is the most beautiful one. None other than Sayyiduna Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa barak wa sallam. One of the biggest vices many of our brothers and sisters also are sadly struggling with and are taking is the disease of drinking alcohol. It is widespread, it is common, it is happening more frequently now than before. And it is very sad to say that a lot of Muslims, especially here in our city Bradford and throughout the United Kingdom in the UK, and never mind just the UK but around the world, unfortunately, sadly, Muslims drink alcohol. Drinking alcohol is haram. There is no permissibility to drinking alcohol with only one exception. The one exception would be, and this is a hypothetical example and the most extreme circumstance, that if you are stranded in a desert, the fuqaha have said, and there is nothing for you to survive on, and in order to survive and live, except a bottle of alcohol, then in such extreme circumstance, the fuqaha have permitted, with the condition that tawbah must be done after as well, that a person would be able to. And this is a very extreme circumstance, scenario where it would be permitted in this scenario and case. Otherwise, it is categorically haram, impermissible, unlawful for Muslims to drink alcohol. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Al-Ma'idah, He said, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu إنما الخمر والميسر والأنساب والأزلام رجس من عمل الشيطان فاجتنبوه لعلكم تفلحون. O you who believe, alcohol, gambling, slaughtering on other than the name of Allah, divine arrows, these are impurities, rijs. These are impurities from the actions of shaitan. This is the devil's work. Stay away from it. فَاجْتَنِبُوهُ. Abstain from it. لَعَلَّكُمْ تُفْلِحُونَ. So that you may succeed. Falah pao. So that you may become successful. إنما يريد الشيطان أن يوقع بينكم العداوة والبغضاء في الخمر والميسر. The devil only intends to sow discord and hatred amongst you through alcohol and gambling. وَيَصُدَّكُمْ عَنْ ذِكْرِ اللَّهِ وَعَنِ الصَّلَاةِ فَهَلْ أَنْتُمْ مُنْتَهُونَ. And he wants to misguide you, distract you from the remembrance of Allah and from prayer. فَهَلْ أَنْتُمْ مُنْتَهُونَ. Allah Almighty says, is this not enough to wake you up, make you realize? Is this not a startling reminder? It is clear in these two verses of the Quran, especially the first that I recited. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has categorically stated it is haram for a person to be associated and especially to drink alcohol. And then the reasoning why is because what the devil uses alcohol for, in order for the devil to carry out his works, he incites, he whispers into the ear of man, drink some alcohol, because he's in that company. He sat with people who are drinking. In this country, it is within the culture. It is part of the fabric of this country to drink. As it is in Europe and the far west. Those who are non-Muslims, they are heavily reliant on alcohol, the sale of alcohol, the business of alcohol. But it's so sad to also see that in the Muslim world, in the Middle East, in the subcontinent, in Pakistan, it is also commonly widespread. Alcohol is readily available. People will go to the major cities like Lahore, Rawalpindi, they will go to Karachi, they will go to Jhelum. These areas they'll go to, these cities, and readily available is alcohol. It's being sold in hotels, in huge, big industry hotels in Islamabad. You go to Dubai, it is everywhere. The sale of alcohol is everywhere in Dubai, and this is where the Middle East. Now, you look towards Qatar, Sharjah, the United Arab Emirates, you go to Iraq, you go to Iran, or you go to other places. And sadly, you go to Saudi Arabia now, you just need to go to Riyadh or Jeddah, and you will find alcohol being sold, albeit underground. Yani, so many of the world's economies rely on the sale of alcohol. They rely on the sale of alcohol, without which they feel that it wouldn't. And what is alcohol? Alcohol is a vice, it's a disease. Alcohol is destructive. He sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam said, "Ijtanibul khamra." Abstain from drinking alcohol. Stay away from alcohol. فَإِنَّهَا أُمُّ الْخَبَائِثِ. For indeed, alcohol is the mother of all evils. Alcohol is the mother of all evils. For he who does not stay away from it, then he has disobeyed Allah and His Rasul. And the adhab of Allah Almighty will be mustahiq upon him. It will be established upon him for disobeying Allah and His Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. For Allah Almighty said in the Quran, وَمَنْ يَعْصِ اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ وَيَتَعَدَّ حُدُودَهُ يُدْخِلْهُ نَارًا خَالِدًا فِيهَا وَلَهُ عَذَابٌ مُهِينٌ. And he who disobeys Allah and the Messenger, and he transgresses His limits, yani Allah Almighty has set hudud. These are divine limits Allah Almighty has set. And he who transgresses these divine limits, يُدْخِلْهُ نَارًا, he will be sent into the fire. فِيهَا, نَارًا خَالِدًا فِيهَا, forever he will be burning in the fire. وَلَهُ عَذَابٌ مُهِينٌ, and for him is a painful torment, is a painful punishment. When Sayyidina Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhuma, he said that when the verses prohibiting alcohol were revealed, some of the Sahaba, they walked with others and they said, حُرِمَتِ الْخَمْرُ. You know, alcohol has become haram now. We cannot drink. وَجُعِلَتْ عِدْلًا لِلشِّرْكِ. The Sahaba would say to the other Sahaba, remember, alcohol's prohibition, the prohibition of alcohol, the unlawfulness of alcohol didn't take place overnight. It was a gradual process. Why? In the Arab culture, in the time of the Prophet ﷺ, drinking alcohol was common. And in order to take the people off, move the people away from the purchase, the sale, the drinking of alcohol, the consummation of alcohol, it was a gradual process. One verse was revealed where it said there's little good and more damage, more harm, little benefit. Then another verse was revealed, do not approach your prayers whilst you are in the state of alcohol, drink, in a drunken state. And like this, over a gradual process and period, this final verse was revealed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the Sahaba would say that alcohol has been prohibited and it has been made akin to shirk. Yani drinking alcohol is akin to shirk. Yani idlan lishirki. Sayyidina Abdullah ibn Umar radiyallahu anhu, he said that drinking alcohol akbarul kabair. From the major sins, this is the worst of all major sins. Drinking alcohol. وهي بلا ريب أم الخبائث وقد لعن شاربها في غير حديث. There's no doubt that it is the mother of all evils. And the one who drinks alcohol, the curse of Allah Almighty is on that person. As mentioned in a hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Sayyidina Abdullah ibn Umar radiyallahu anhuma, in another narration, he said, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, every drop, every particle, every aspect of alcohol, yani every intoxicant is an alcohol, is khamr. And every khamr, yani every alcohol is haram. He who drinks alcohol in the dunya and dies, and he doesn't do tawbah from this, he doesn't ask Allah's forgiveness from this, وَهُوَ مُدْمِنُهَا, yani he's an habitual drinker, he drinks all the time, Allah Almighty will deprive him from the alcohol of Jannah. And remember, in paradise, there are 4 rivers. There is the pure water, there is the alcohol, there is honey, and there is milk. And the alcohol in paradise is not like the alcohol in the dunya. That alcohol of paradise is pure. Yani Allah Almighty mentions this sharaban tahura, that this is sharab which is tahur, it is pure. It will not intoxicate the person who drinks it. But this is a lazzat, this is a taste that he will get, which he will be deprived of if he's been drinking alcohol in the dunya. If he has drunk alcohol in the dunya, he will be deprived of the heavenly intoxicants that Allah Almighty has created. It is narrated in Sahih Muslim from Sayyidina Jabir bin Abdullah radiyallahu anhu. He said, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, Allah Almighty has vowed, He has taken an oath, that he who drinks alcohol, that Allah Almighty will give him from the blood and the pus of the inhabitants of the fire of Jahannam. That he who drinks alcohol in this dunya, he will be made to drink min tinatil khubal. Yani he will drink from the impurities of the hellfire. And Allah Allah mentioned this. And the Sahaba, they said, Ya Rasulullah, wa ma tinatul khubal? What is this tinatul khubal that you've mentioned? And he sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, irqu ahli nar. It is the sweat of the people of the fire. Oh, isaratu ahli nar. It's the pus that comes out from the people of the fire. They'll be burning, they'll be sweating, that sweat will be gathered. And for the one who drank alcohol in this dunya, he will be made to drink this in the akhirah. In another narration, in the Sahihain, Muslim and Bukhari, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that he who drinks alcohol in the dunya, he will be deprived of it in the akhirah. The Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, in another narration, Musnad of Imam Ahmad, Abu Hurairah said, he sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, Mudminul khamri ka'abidi wasan. The one who drinks alcohol is like a worshipper of idols. He's like a worshipper of idols. He sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, La yadkhulul jannah aakun wala mudminu khamar. He who disrespects his parents and he who drinks alcohol, an alcoholic, shall not enter into paradise. He will not enter into paradise. 3, sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, there are 3 that will be deprived from paradise. The one, it is haram, Jannah will be haram on 3 people. The one who is an alcoholic, the one who disrespects his parents, and that baghairat insan, the youth. What is it, the youth? The youth is that baghairat insan. He's got no ghaira inside him. He's got no haya inside him, that he lets his daughters and wives walk out with no parda. The youth, in the Arabic language, is that individual, that man who has not ghairat inside him. Yani he lets his daughters walk out, his sisters walk out, his wives walk out with tight clothing, perfume on. That individual will not enter into paradise. You need look at, and if we look, mudminu khamar, akun liwaliday, and the youth, so commonly widespread in our community. You just got to go to Broadway, you just got to go to town, you got to go to Trafford Centre, you just got to walk in the street sometimes, and you'll see. You can see on the day of Eid, you just got to look at it on Eid day, or when Pakistan wins, there'll be girls inside their cars, flags, horns, music, no parda, nothing. Yani, he sallallahu alayhi wasallam is telling us, these 3 people will not enter paradise. Who? The one who drinks alcohol. Common. How many of our mans get liquored up Friday night, Saturday night? Today, even until now, they are drinking alcohol. So many of our brothers and sisters drink alcohol. And it's haram. And what must a person who drinks alcohol, who disrespects his parents, who's lived a life where he doesn't care about the way his daughters or his sisters or his mother dresses, such people should do tawbah. They should ask Allah for forgiveness. They should turn back to Allah Almighty and say, oh Allah, forgive me for I spent my life drinking alcohol. Forgive me for I disrespect my parents. Forgive me for I didn't have the ghaira to cover my daughters up, to cover my sisters up, to cover my wife up, so that others don't look at them. Yani he sallallahu alayhi wasallam is warning us clearly in these verses, in these hadith. This is why it's akbarul kaba'ir. This is why it's ummul khaba'ith. It's the mother of all evils, drinking alcohol. We need to go to our brothers and tell them that this is a sin. You will be punished for this if you do not do tawbah. And many people are addicted to alcohol. Alcohol addiction. Even this country, those who run this country, they've understood the dangers of alcohol. They've understood the impact and the damage that alcohol can have on the human body, be it the liver, the kidneys, the impact and the damage of alcohol in terms of society. You know, when a person's drunk, it's a famous story, I don't know if you've heard this. One person was asked, who's worse? Alcoholic, rapist, or murderer? You'd think on the apparent that the one who murders is worse of the three. The one who rapes a woman is worse of the three. The one who drinks alcohol is just drinking alcohol. And the man said, of the three, the alcoholic, the one who drinks alcohol and is drunk, he's worse of the three. Why? Because the alcohol has such impact on a person that when he gets drunk, he doesn't know who his sister is, he doesn't know who his mother is. He doesn't know the difference between anything or anyone. And in the state of drunkenness, he would go. You see, a murderer, he planned a murder and murdered. Simple. In his senses, he did that. The rapist, in his senses, he's done that. But the alcoholic, he's drank, becomes so drunk that he's ended up raping and then murdering. And alcohol does this to people. Alcohol causes this damage. And our brothers, sadly sisters, drink alcohol like nothing. No fear of Allah. No khawf of the punishments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is why we need to constantly remind our youngsters about the dangers of alcohol. It's haram. It's haram. It's qat'an haram. There is no jawaz. There is no permissibility to the drinking of alcohol. May Allah Almighty forgive us. May Allah Almighty allow us to be amongst those who are pure and have been purified. وأقول قولي هذا أستغفر الله لي ولكم آخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين.
لا إله إلا الله 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 لا إله إلا الله جود علينا الله لا إله إلا الله جود علينا